Yeah, dude, I'm good with that. I mean, let's move it. Let's move it and freaking move on. And all right, but look, I'm about to pull up here, so I'll see you back at the office. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll probably be here for like 30 minutes or so, and then I'll head back. All right, all right, all right, man. All right, bye. Property's going to need a full renovation. What's awesome about this property, and one thing I really love, is it's actually on the water, right? There's a little lake out here that's close to like St. George Street. And if you're familiar with St. Augustine, by the way, oldest city in the country. Fun fact, I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's actually the oldest city in the country, St. Augustine is. Anyway, so right next to St. George Street, we are right in the middle of the historic district. This property is freaking awesome. I'm super excited about it. So let's check it out. We got the original hardwood floors in here. We'll obviously refinish those. This is obviously newer. So you got the wood tile floor that they did, and even got some granite going here. They got some granite. Looks like the cabinets are very old, even backsplash. So all this will be ripped out, redone. All the floors will be refinished. We'll definitely save them. They're actually in good condition. And then, the house flooded, right? So that's one of the minuses about these properties that are along this strip, especially like downtown St. Augustine in general. There's a lot of like flooding that goes on, and obviously we're in like the hurricane capital of the world. So last year this property flooded, and here's the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, what happened with this deal, it's interesting, right? So the lead comes in, I think it was from mail, right? So it was from mail, it came in, and then the property was actually listed. Okay, so the owner had the property listed with an agent for like $350,000. It's been sitting for a while, but what the realtor did, which was crazy to me, she had it listed as just land, right? Because these lots, believe it or not, just a lot alone on this street, like a lot like this, just this little tiny lot can sell for about $300,000. Okay, so anyway, she had it listed for $350,000, and they were going through the process to get all the permitting to get the property torn down, and then they were going to just sell the lot. And $350,000 was definitely very expensive for the lot, especially since the house was not demoed and it wasn't ready to build on. So we came in, we worked a deal with the owner. I think we were right at like $230,000, $235,000, something like that is what we paid for it. And now we're either going to rehab this puppy, or we are going to tear it down and build new, or we're going to wholesale it, and it should be a 6-figure wholesale deal. And that would actually be if we do that and we, you know, which obviously we close on it this year, that would be, I believe, our third six-figure, like over $100,000 wholesale deal this year. So anyway, guys, this is super exciting. Like, I love this property. I love this area. It's extremely difficult to find deals over here. And this year alone, like, we've done several deals in downtown St. Augustine, which is crazy because it's such a hot area. But yeah, if you want to take a look around the house, like, check it out. So obviously cut, you know, all the way around the entire house because of the flooding. So all that would have to be replaced. We got, I believe we got 2 baths here. And what we were going to do is make it, because technically right now it's like a 2-2, 2 bed, 2 bath. And we were going to make it a 3-2. I mean, like, look, they've done work to this house. Like, I mean, really, like, it's unfortunate what happened with the flooding, and this is common, right? There's another neighborhood in downtown St. Augustine. If you go over the Lions Bridge, if you were familiar with here, it's called Davis Shores. So over the Lions Bridge, which Lions Bridge is actually the gap between the beginning of St. Augustine Beach and downtown St. Augustine, and that's what that bridge does. So, and it goes over the bay. But anyway, that neighborhood, Davis Shores, is notorious for flooding, right? It floods. Anytime there's a hurricane, it floods. People are like, it's insane. Like, maybe I can find a photo for you and throw this in here. But a lot of people are like so irritated now. They're so pissed about the flooding. Like, they're building their house like 8 foot off of the ground. It's crazy, right? Like, it really is. And people are like raising their house like 8 foot. I mean, it's absolute insanity. But the houses look crazy that they're doing that to, but it's still a highly desirable neighborhood. So we've picked up multiple properties over the last 2 years in that neighborhood just because we had back-to-back 2 years in a row hurricane. So it's unfortunate about the hurricanes, and I don't want to see that stuff actually happening to people. It sucks. And many people that had just renovated their house, like, got hit with a hurricane right after that again and wiped them out. So, but at the same time, it has, you know, we have been getting more deals in those areas because of the flooding. And you know what? They're cashing out. We're giving them a good, solid, fair price for the house, and then they're also getting their insurance check. So they're actually doing well. But it just sucks because they got to move and all that other stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so obviously all this, you know, I mean, refinish the floors, obviously fix the drywall. We'll probably end up, you know, taking out like the plaster and redoing that. So we'll probably just re-drywall the entire house if we rehab it. We'll restore all these. So this is awesome that it has all the original knobs. People love this, and I mean, it's actually working really, really well. So we'll refinish all these. Like, in these historic houses, like, that's the stuff that you want to keep, and that adds value to the property. Then come in here. You got the fireplace, good sized living room for one of these older historic houses. Obviously keep the fireplace, and then you got, you know, just the outdoor entrance right there for the back, for the porch. And then this, right, is technically not a bedroom, but what we were thinking is like, all right, this is how we can make this a 3-2. You got 2 doors, right? You got another door over there to access the exterior of the backyard. So you don't necessarily need this one. So even though it's tight, we can make this into a bedroom, and now we have a 3-bed, 2-bath, which actually increases the value quite a bit, because a lot of these floor plans right here in this neighborhood, there's a lot of similar ones. All of them are mostly 2-bed, 2-bath. So if you can do a 3-bed, 2-bath, like, you're starting to get into the money then. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so the one I answered, what list is good to cold call, I put that up there. I actually really like all the specialty lists. So like divorce, tax delinquent, eviction, probate, all those lists. And we actually have a VA that mines that data for us every week. We build that list, we can run it through, the data sources, get the phone numbers, and we can call those leads. So I think those are the best. And also any return mail, that's also a really good list to hit for cold calling. Another one, best place to get a divorce list. This is how I responded. We use VA, again, like I said, to mine that data for us. So I suggest to go to Upwork, hire a cheap VA, and they can mine that data for you, and it would basically cost, almost nothing, right? You could do like a project based, and it wouldn't be that much at all. Another one, have you done wholesale with multifamily properties? How do you start doing that? And I said, look, it's basically the same thing. Obviously, it changes with large multifamily properties. Like, now you're requiring like due diligence and inspection periods and all this other stuff. That obviously is a variable, but the process in essence, as far as like the wholesale side, like is still the same to a certain degree, right? So another one is, this is a more detailed one. How do I move from doing 1 deal per month to doing 3 to 5? I currently work alone. This is going to require more detailed response. I told him I'd DM him, get a little bit more information from him about what he's doing, what his budget looks like. And, he said it's only him. He don't have anyone else on his team. So I'll get a little bit more information from him, and then I can give him a better detailed response. Because it wouldn't be, like with what I know right now about what he's doing, I just don't even know. I have no idea what kind of marketing he's doing, what that looks like, what his processes look like. So I would really need to know those to give him a really effective answer, that can really make a change for him. So let me see here. And that's pretty much about it. That's pretty much about it. And I'm actually going to do a follow-up for her really quick too, for the wholesale multifamily properties. And just as a quick follow-up to this one about the multifamily properties, also if you're talking about getting to apartment buildings, stuff like that, then you have due diligence periods, inspections, all this other stuff plays a factor. But if you're talking duplexes, triplexes, that's the same thing. So yeah, guys, look, I'm super pumped that you guys get to, check this property out with us as an experience. It's awesome property. And look, guys, I'm here for you, right? I want to help you guys. I want to show you, what the day-to-day looks like. What is a day in the life like, right? So, and this also helps you visualize, what you want your day to look like, right? Do you want to build a big business? Do you want a smaller business? Do you want, are you worried about more traveling and, more, not as much about the material stuff? Whatever that looks like for you, what's awesome is I get to share with you guys what my day-to-day looks like. So I'm here walking this property. It's awesome property. Then we're gonna go back to the office, do some more content, set up stuff for the intensive, and then I'll go home, enjoy the night, and then start all over again. But what's awesome is if tomorrow, last minute, I change my mind and I'm like, hey, I want to go to New York for a couple days, whatever, Australia, whatever it is, I have the ability to do that because of the way that I've set up my business. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to have that freedom, to not be worried about what the next week, what the next month, what the next year looks like as far as a struggle, but what it looks like in abundance, right? How much more successful and how much more, how much more of a better life that you'll have at that time. And that's all of the mindset, right? Your mindset needs to be focused in on everything that's positive. When shit happens, you get into a rut, whatever, that's a learning experience. So you got to look at that as actually a good thing. You're going to learn from it. You're going to become a better entrepreneur, a better business person, and you're going to grow from that experience, right? Because so many times Like people get just, you know, beat down from like, oh, you know, I just feel like I'm in this rut. I can't get to here. You know, I'm doing 2 deals a month. Like I just don't know how to get to 7, whatever the case may be. Like I'm here to help you guys with that stuff. Like I know what it is to be at those different levels, and I understand how to break through those barriers, because the reality of it is the same systems and processes that got you to, you know, 100 or $250,000 a year, those are not the same systems and processes necessarily that are going to get you to $1 million, $2, $3, $5 million a year. Like there's different levels, guys, so you guys need to understand that. But look, I love you guys. It's always humbling, you know, you guys are willing to follow and listen. And look, I'm just excited you guys got to experience this house. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.